In this video tutorial, we'll be using the Student Edit Commands worksheet found in Box.com, and we will be talking about the chamfer command. So if you zoom into the chamfer area, there's two of them. We'll do the top one first. The chamfer is taking a corner and we'll say cutting the corner off so you have a flat surface. So if I go up to chamfer, go to my fillet command, select chamfer. I can also type it at the keyboard. We have a few options: undo, polyline, distance, angle, trim, method, and multiply. You use distance and angle the most. If we look at our directions here, it says create a chamfer that's 0.5 by 0.5. It's the distance option. So I'll type in distance. And right now, inside of the default is 0.5, so I'll hit enter. And then it asks for the second one. It's also in 0.5, so I'll hit enter. So now it says select the first line. Here's my first line. Then it says select a second line. And just like the fillet command, you can set the chamfer command up to leave the original corner. As you can see, it's kind of grayed out there. Or you can set it to where it removes the original corner. And of course, most of the time, we want to remove the original corner, so we'll leave that portion on. Now I click it. Now, just like the fillet command, the chamfer command stays at the setting you put it at until you change it. So if I hit spacebar, it brings me back into the chamfer command. I go back to distance because now our distance is 1 and 1. So right there it says 0.5. So I'm going to type in 1, hit enter. And it anticipates that you'll want to use the 1 again for the second one, which is the most common. And I do. And since it's in parentheses, if I hit enter, that will be the default and it will be number 1. So then it says, or asks me, select first line. Then it says select second line. And that's the top portion. So we'll move down to the bottom portion here. And we can also use the chamfer command to remove a chamfer. So if I type in chamfer, I could also just hit the space bar. And I go to distance. And now I type 0, hit enter. And hit enter again because it's anticipating my second 0. And I now click on the first line and the second line. It removed it. Now it didn't remove the original chamfer, so I can just delete that like that. And I am now back to my original corner. Now earlier in one of our tutorials when we were talking about polylines, we have a closed polyline here, and we mentioned that when we use the polyline command, and if we're going to create a closed object, we don't just click on the endpoint at the end, we use the close command because then it allows us to do special things with a polyline, and here's one of those special things. So I'm going to go back to polyline and correction, I'm going to go back to my chamfer command, sorry about that, and I'm going to click on the polyline option because this is a polyline. And then I'm going to go to my distance option, I'm going to type 0.5, hit enter, and then it anticipates my 0.5 again, so I'm going to hit enter again. Now watch what happens when I click on the polyline. Because it's a closed polyline, it does all 4 corners at once. So that's how you use the chamfer command.